Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Tiny Epic Galaxies Blast Off. And this is published by Gamelin Games and designed by Scott Alms.
Alright, you guys, this is Tiny Epic Galaxies Blast Off. It sounds like an expansion, but it's not. It's actually kind of a standalone, simplified, streamlined sequel to Tiny Epic Tiny Epic Galaxies. So, if you're familiar with that game, a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about are going to sound familiar to you. But yeah, let me show you how to play. Alright, here is our setup for Tiny Epic Galaxies Blast Off. Now again, this is a kind of a simplified, streamlined version of the original Tiny Epic Galaxies. So a lot of the things we're going to be talking about are going to seem very familiar if you're familiar with the original game. So everyone's going to have their own card over here, their own galaxy card. It's going to have tracks for both the energy and for culture, just like before, as well as with the energy symbol there. And then we have our track over here, basically saying what level galaxy we are over there. Basically, the higher you go, the more dice you're going to be able to use, as well as more ships you're going to be able to use, as well as more victory points you're going to be able to earn. Now, this game is a race to 21 points. Basically, at that point, once one person hits the 21 points, the gameplay is going to keep on going until every player has had the equal number of turns. At the end of that, whoever has the most amount of points wins the game. All right, let's see how we get some of those points. So first of all, like we said, we can move up on our little slider there. Basically, this little slider is pretty nifty. It kind of shows what the upcoming resources is you need to pay in order to get to that level. Then it shows how many dice you get inside that box there, how many ships you have, and how many victory points it's worth. Again, how you slide that up, the more and more you get. All right, so when you go up on that track, you have to spend either energy or culture. And again, all the costs are right there. We have all these planet cards set up out over here. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to set out as many planets as there are players plus 2. So for a 2-player game like this, we would have 4 planets out there. On your turn, you're going to roll the dice, basically based off your number of your galaxy. So you start off with 4 of them. You're going to roll them up, and you do those symbols. So for instance, if you use this energy symbol, you're going to put it there in the activation bay, and what you're going to do is you're going to get energy equal to the number of ships you have on energy galaxies, including your starting one here. So we've got 2 ships on, based off that little energy symbol there, so we would gain 2 energy. Now if we had, let's say, a spaceship symbol there, what we could do is we could take one of our spaceships from our middle of our galaxy and place it out here on one of these planets. And each one of these planets has 2 ways you can play it. You can place it right there on the planet itself. That gives you 2 things. First of all, you get an immediate benefit based off whatever's on the card there. That one says gain an energy. And then also what you can do is you can place it sideways there on the track. There are 2 different kinds of tracks. One's based off of that little life symbol up there. One's based off that little technology kind of gear symbol. This one's a plant one, so we could place one of those plant or life symbols. That would let us go up once on one of those tracks. Similarly, if we had one over here on this gear track, and we played a gear symbol, that would allow us to go up on that symbol. Once one of these cards is all the way to the very top, you now own it. That ship's going to come back to your galaxy. This card's going to get tucked under your ability here, under your galaxy. You now have access to that ability whenever you roll one of these galaxy symbols. That's also what you need to roll in order to move up on that track as well and pay the associated resources. We'd also replenish this card here. All right, so now what I want to talk about next is culture. So culture is a secondary resource besides our energy here. It's this little track right there. Culture is a little bit harder to get than energy because you start with energy right there on your board. If you wanted to get more technology, what you would need to do is you need to use one of those ship actions, and you have to move this to one of the planets that has a ship action or culture symbol up there. Like always, you can take whatever the action is when you place the ship there. But now, from here on out, whenever you place one of those culture symbols, you get 1 culture for every ship you have on a culture planet like that. So we'd be able to move that up 1 in this scenario. So what do you use culture for? So obviously you can use culture to move up on your galaxy slider, but the other way to use culture is on someone else's turn. What you can do is you can, as they are rolling dice and placing them on the board here, anything that is surrounded by that yellow border, including the converter over here, which I'll explain in a moment, you can actually pay a culture in order to follow that action. Let's say someone placed a ship here. You could pay a culture in order to also place one of your ships out on the board. Another way you can use culture or energy is on this converter. So basically what happens with the converter is you need to spend one of your resources on your own turn, in order to take a die that you weren't really particularly happy with, maybe you wanted to roll culture, but you rolled a galaxy symbol, you can pay either an energy or a culture to change the die face to whatever you want, and then use that symbol. Now you only get to use the dice, roll them one time. If you're not happy with what you see, or you can only use something that you like, what you can do is you can spend one energy to re-roll all dice that you don't like. Let's say you use those 2 or whatever, you can then re-roll the 2 that you didn't use yet. If you still don't like them, you're going to use more energy, re-roll them again, until you get the results that you like, or you run out of energy, or you're unwilling to spend more energy. Victory points are going to come from 2 places, either from your track, your galaxy slider over there, or at the bottom right of these planets. Those are the star value there. Those are points as well. So really you're just trying to race as fast as possible, getting to that 21 point mark. And again, whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins.
I really like the artwork on this. I thought it was a cutesy, fun diversion away from the original artwork.
The gritty, dark.
Yeah, but this
Fun
is
night.
it reminded me of like a Futurama, right? That's what it reminded me of, and I just really liked it. I liked the divergent path they took with the artwork on this one.
Yeah, and similarly, I think like the tokens were a lot brighter and I don't know, funner, I guess is that the word I'm looking for. They were just a little bit more cutesy, and they were clearer too. Like there was that little kind of bracket they put around the galaxy track as you move up that. I thought that was a really nice touch as far as just it made it very clear how much it costs to go up to the next level and what you got when you got to that level.
Okay, but here's the thing though. I would never choose this over Tiny Epic Galaxies. There's just no reason why. If I had the choice to play one of these, I would choose this one. I just want it.
If this game were the first game that we ever encountered, the Tiny Epic game that we ever encountered, and we played it, we probably would have had a great time, and we did have a great time playing it.
Yeah.
But we would have thought this was cool, we would have liked it, and all that kind of stuff. However, we played this first, and this was a pretty simple game. It wasn't convoluted, it wasn't bloated, it wasn't any of those things that I would think of as a game that needs to be streamlined. So this is like a simplified version of a simple game already.
Yeah.
And that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like this, there's not a reason this needs to exist. I mean, it's a fine light game.
Totally fine.
But like, if you outside of maybe completely introductory levels, this is the game you want. This is the one you want to play. This has got all the best mechanics, all the best cards. Like I said, this one has some cute artwork and all that kind of stuff, but the original was great. Didn't need a replacement.
Yeah, like Ryan said earlier, if you haven't played Tiny Epic Galaxies, then you'll definitely enjoy this one. It'll be fun, especially if you like that style of game. But if you have played Tiny Epic Galaxies, there's just like no point to play this one. Like the only thing I can think of, like what Ryan was saying, is an introductory, but not even. But that one is so simple and streamlined that I don't even think you need it. Maybe outside if we wanted to play with our youngest daughter. Like we could do this one as a stepping to play that one, but besides that,
Yeah, I agree with everything he's saying. I mean, Tiny Epic Galaxies is a great game. Tiny Epic Galaxies Blast Off, a fun game, but
if you have that one,
if you've already got that one, no need to invest in this one.
Yeah.
In fact, if you like the game style of this, you could just take out like the special ability cards and pare down a couple things from this to make it be into this, and it's the same thing.
Yeah,
it really is the same thing, but just I use the word dumbed down, and as a negative thing.
Yeah.
Usually dumbed down could be a positive thing, but this is like, I don't know. It's not for us. But then again, at the same time, it's fun. It's fine.
No, I mean,
that's the weird thing about it.
I think that's the problem, is that it's a good game. It's totally fine. It's just, it's a derivative of a game that didn't need to be changed.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're having a hard time. This was a fun game, and we liked it. We just would never choose this over Tiny Epic Galaxies. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us on Facebook, we're Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. On Twitter, we're Ryan and Bethany 1. And on Instagram, we are Ryan and Bethany.
All right, you guys. We'll see you next time.
Let's blast off!
That's what rockets sound like.